Hi, welcome to Lovin Sheila, the podcast. We are here at episode 21. And today we weren't going to do this, and I just felt some inspiration. And like I've mentioned to you before, my inspiration typically just comes from daily, just daily stuff. And today I was actually just listening to some music, and I've been listening to some Beyonce. I've been listening to Listen by Beyonce. And boy, it just triggers a lot of emotions for me. I thought I'd take a moment and focus on this because it triggers so much and I want to get into it. I feel like I'm at the halfway point in so many things. So many things right now that are, on my plate. I'm at the halfway point. And even I thought today in 1 year, actually, I can actually retire. And that's amazing. I've come this far. It just really just kind of shook me a little bit just to realize I'm almost at least that portion of the finish line. And then as I looked at other things, I was like, I'm at the halfway point. But in the process, I realized there's so many things that I need to put in place. And, I started making a list of things I need to do, things that I need to focus on, meaning maybe, this little drought area is over and now it's time to bring it on home. And really that's what I was thinking about. And I kind of felt like this is my opus, my manifesto. I have been talking to you now for a few months. I think actually it's been 6 months. And we've been going through this whole journey. And I've shared so much about so many things and just about this process, about this journey. And, and now I think I've tried to be vulnerable along the way. And now I'm at a point where it's like I feel like I'm Diana Ross. I'm coming out, just really trying to be liberated and at peace and find myself. And that's part of what was interesting when I listened to Listen, is that she's like, I don't know where I belong, but I'll be moving on. And that resonates with me because I've been talking to you about who are we? Who are you? Who am I? And, months later, it is still being developed. And I think I kind of lost it because of the focus that I placed, on other people, and so for me, who am I is a discovery, to know who I am, completely, because I know there's some things that I enjoy, some things I like to do, but at the core of everything, just who am I? And so as I start to reflect, and I've said a few things, it's interesting to me because some of the folks that I love the most, me digging into my authentic self was very disheartening, I guess, for them, maybe troubling. It seemed that it made folks angry with me. And what I've leaned into is the fact that if it's my truth, if it is my truth, then if I'm sharing it, it's part of who I am. And if it makes others angry when I'm being who I am, then that is their issue. That is not my issue. And that is exactly what I'm coming out of. For years, I spent my time doing things that I thought would keep everybody happy, keep the peace, and so forth. And in the process, really disconnected me from what made me happy, what was my thing, what made me tick. I immersed myself in just the things that would pacify everyone else, and I felt like it didn't really reflect who I am. And so now here I am, Lovin Sheila, which is where I am, because I think after all these years, I've earned it. I've absolutely earned it, and I'm going to walk in it, and I'm going to find it. And I heard for years people say they're finding themselves, and I don't think I ever comprehended that, but unfortunately, at this age, I am finding myself, and focusing on loving myself. And so that's where I am. I feel, it's unfortunate that that would bring out anger or whatever in some, or a lack of understanding or criticism or scrutiny, but everyone's entitled to their feeling. This is my manifesto. This is my opus. This is almost my opening act. And I don't know if who this is for. It could just be for me. But today in my soul, I felt like I had to say it. I just have to say what I have to say. And so it's time for my dreams to be heard. It's time for it to be, dug up from wherever it was. And it's time for my dreams to be heard. It's time for for it to manifest. That's what it is for me. And I said, for years, as I was raising my son, who's 20 now, as I was raising him, I fought for him like my life depended on it, without a doubt, whether it was through school, through sports, within our family, whatever it was. I felt that I fought like my life depended on it, and you couldn't tell me that it didn't. You couldn't tell me it didn't. And so now that I think we've raised a man who is pretty self-sufficient, I can, sit back and say, okay, Sheila, now what? And that's when Lovin Sheila came. And that's when I realized how much I hadn't been Lovin Sheila. And now is the time where I feel that I have to do it, and I have to fight for Sheila like my life depends on it. Absolutely. And so that's where I am. And it means that I'm putting it all out there. I feel like I've been screaming out to be heard. And some folks, may think it's innuendo or whatever, but I've screamed out, and I never said, well, I'm coming out. This is my time, or whatever it is. But today I'm screaming. I'm not screaming out like, listen to me, hear me. I'm telling you, literally saying to the world, I'm coming out. It's my time to be heard. My dreams are my aspirations, my goals, my hopes are my hopes. And they don't have to be validated by anyone. They're my hopes, my dreams, my aspirations. They're mine, absolutely mine. And so I just want to put 10 toes down on it today, and just say that. I mean, this is going to be short. Like I said, this is my manifesto. So it's going to be short, but I'm 10 toes down, doubling down, like Frank Sinatra. It's going to be my way. It's my way. And I've made some, as I mentioned in the last episode, we've pivoted, we've changed some directions, and sometimes it didn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. But even through all of these things, everything that we've been through, whatever, I always trusted myself. I always trusted that, I always trusted that I was strong enough, that I was smart enough, that I was resourceful enough, that no matter what the situation, I could figure it out, and that's where I am right now. I feel I'm strong enough, I'm smart enough, and no matter what the situation, I can figure it out. And this is my second half. This is, most of my life has been lived, probably. Um, but I'm determined to make the second half, you know, what I, Sheila, need it to be. Not what the world wants it to be, not what my father or my mother or my sister, my brother, my son, whomever expect from me, but exactly what I want it to be. And even though it all remains to be seen, I just felt like I needed to declare it, because maybe I've walked around it, maybe I've speculated, maybe I've uh, intimated some things, or I don't know. But I just want to go on record, because as I look back at all of these episodes, this is a journal, and it really chronicles where I've been and where this road has taken me. The ups and the downs, the peaks and the valleys, the highs and the lows, and there have been plenty of those. And so, kind of like being in AA, first you want to make the declaration, I'm an alcoholic. Well, I was guilty of not loving or taking care of myself. And I lost sight of it, and I just wasn't focused on it. And here's my opportunity to start over, to focus, to be in tune, to pay attention to what I need. And it doesn't happen. It hasn't happened overnight. It won't. But again, like I said, I'm doubling down on it, because folks may not listen, but I can take control of my situation and make it what I desire it to be. You don't have to hear, but I will speak. I'm telling the world. Okay? So the title is Listen, and I don't know who's listening, but I'm telling. That's what I feel like in the process of, me suppressing so many things. Maybe I didn't, no, not maybe, I absolutely did not speak up. I absolutely managed my words and avoided conflict. And that's what I did. I don't like to be, confrontational, not my personality. But there are some things that are worth it. And standing up for yourself, loving yourself, taking care of yourself, and pursuing your happiness is worth it. And so that's what I'm here to say today. I'm here to make it happen. And I've fallen on my sword so many times. So many times I said, I'll take responsibility. I was guilty. I'm guilty. I defended myself when I didn't have to be. There was nothing to defend. I've fallen on my sword, and I took more than I should have at times. And I'm just recognizing it and decreeing and declaring that moving forward, those days are past. And I hope that this helps someone. I know it's very specific, but just screaming out to be heard, not being heard, not feeling seen, not living intentional with purpose for myself. I had purpose for my husband, I had purpose for my son, but I didn't have purpose for me. I knew what all that entailed, but not for me. And so, so now it's for me. It's my time, and just really trying to walk in that. And even in creating a home, there's so many things that I surrendered, that I let go, that I felt that I could live without, which is ultimately neglect. And I think that's one of the biggest things personally that I have to resolve. There's I have neglected myself. I have withheld things from myself, you know, um, essential things, just part of life. And I always felt like I was strong enough, tough enough, whatever enough that I'll be all right. And I feel more now like I need to indulge myself. I need to take care of I don't even know if that's indulging. It's just taking care of myself, not depriving and not neglecting myself. You know, a lot of my people were like, how's your place coming or whatever? Do you have this? Do you have that? And all that. And I was like, I'm good. I mean, I don't need anything. That was my thing. I got a TV, bed, or not even a bed, but somewhere to sit. I'm good. And that was neglect. And in the process, and I'm doing Lovin Sheila, and I'm neglecting myself. And so, I think this week it was just brought to my attention even more, just little things. And so, really to try and get past this, like people pleasing and being what people want you to be, and pussyfooting around different topics, just really being honest, direct, open about what is real, what is needed, who I am, where I'm going, how I hope to get there. The roadmap is unclear at this time, but certainly my time is winding up, and it's time to like put some things in place. And so in order to put those things in place, I think it required some clarity of where I've been, and having closed the door and deciding not to treat myself the way I have in the past, and deciding to really hug myself and love myself forward. Just really deciding to love myself forward and figuring out what it entails. And it requires, I suppose, the world to know where I am, who I am, what I'm trying to do, and the way I feel. If you're angry, you can't be angry for someone being who they are embracing their truth, are really finally coming out. When people come out as, LGBTQ or whatever, everyone embraces it. But if you come out and say, I'm going to love myself and do what's best for me and not neglect me, and set boundaries, then everyone gets all in a kerfuffle, or gets their undies in a bunch. But for those who haven't listened, I'm making it plain, I suppose. This is where I am. I'm pursuing my happiness and focusing on me, and with God's help, healing and recovery is taking place, and we're getting closer to where we want to be and where I want to be emotionally. And so, like I said, this is my opus. This is my now it's like my opening act again. And I'm just happy to be free to say the things that I've said, to walk in it, to own it, like Mike Tyson said back in the day, he walks it like he talks it. I'm just happy to be that girl. I'm happy that though I don't have all the answers, I'm happy that I have the strength to bet on me. I'm happy that if no one else is listening, I'm listening, And I hear you, Sheila, loud and clear. And I'm here for you. So, maybe this is something we all need to say to ourselves, because we're here for this person and that person and everyone else. But I'm here to say I'm here for Sheila today. And I'm going to find the place where I belong. And I'm going to make it exactly what I envision. And it's going to be full of love and, joy and peace. Woo, peace. And ultimately just my happy place. So that's, me pursuing my happiness, and that's what it's all about. And thank you for being with me for this short Lovin Sheila. Thank you for indulging me for this moment. Thank you for listening. I'm happy you're here with me, and thank you for watching Lovin Sheila, the podcast.